It is difficult to admit when a trusted confidant begins to act against your interests. The realization usually arrives in pieces, much like a rope that frays for weeks before it finally snaps. This creates cognitive dissonance. You might find yourself making excuses for their behavior, clinging to a shared history, even when their current actions cause genuine pain. Sustaining this internal conflict over time erodes your confidence. It becomes harder to trust your own judgment when you're constantly rationalizing someone else's neglect. These dynamics rarely start with a massive betrayal. They typically follow a specific progression of escalating transactional behaviors. Recognizing these patterns as they emerge provides the clarity needed to protect your own well-being. Communication begins to feel like a performance for an audience of one. They talk at length about their own lives and problems, but quickly become distracted or dismissive the moment you attempt to share your own. This pattern signals a lack of empathy. When a conversation only serves their needs, it confirms that your thoughts and feelings are secondary to their own narrative. This diagram illustrates the mechanics of the backhanded compliment. While the outer shell sounds like praise, the jagged core reveals a pointed criticism rooted in jealousy. Wrapping a critique in light-hearted teasing allows them to chip away at your self-esteem while maintaining an excuse if you ever call them out on it. These subtle behaviors serve as a baseline. They reveal how much disrespect can be introduced into the relationship without meeting resistance. This timeline tracks canceled plans. You've experienced friends who make promises only to disappear at the last minute. As the graph suggests, constant broken promises lead to a total collapse in reliability. You stop expecting them to show up. The pattern then extends to group dynamics. You might notice they forget to invite you to events, or you find out about group activities only after they've already happened. This active exclusion allows them to control the social circle. By only inviting you when it suits them, they dictate your level of access to the rest of the group. At this stage, the friendship has become a conditional arrangement, where your presence is treated as a convenience rather than a priority. The transactional nature of the bond becomes clear when they ghost you for weeks, only to reappear the moment they need a significant favor. They approach you as a resource to solve their problems. Once you provide what they need, they often vanish again until the next crisis arises. The behavior moves from simple neglect to active harm. They may begin gossiping about you or spreading your private secrets. Your vulnerabilities become social currency. They trade your private information to gain favor or attention from others, showing a total disregard for your privacy. During a conflict, to save themselves, they will step back and allow you to take the blame for a situation they created. A friend who refuses to vouch for you or protect you in a crisis shows that the relationship is fundamentally unsafe. This final betrayal makes the reality of the situation impossible to ignore. The connection was designed to serve only their interests. Processing this level of betrayal is exhausting. It takes a significant amount of energy to manage the aftermath of these escalating behaviors. Acknowledging these facts is a necessary stop toward change. It allows you to align your actions with the reality of the relationship rather than the hope of what it could be. Establishing boundaries often means choosing quiet distance over an explosive confrontation. Withdrawing your time and energy prevents them from continuing the transactional cycle. A healthy relationship is built on 4 distinct pillars: honesty, trust, care, and mutual respect. These pillars provide stability. When a relationship lacks this foundation, you end up doing all the heavy lifting just to keep the connection from falling apart. Take a moment to evaluate where your energy goes. Walking away from an imitation of friendship creates the space necessary to find something authentic.